Hi MOSH friends, welcome to another awesome MOSH Connect video.
It's weather.
So today we are going to be talking about clouds and rain. So let's go ahead and get started. What are clouds? How do they get up there to begin with? Are they heavy? What causes rain? All these questions will be answered by the end of this video. Let's start with the obvious. What are clouds? Clouds are made up of tiny droplets of water and ice. They're up there in the sky. But how does the water even get up there? Well, that has to do with this nifty thing called the water cycle. Let's go ahead and review it real quick. There are about 326 trillion gallons of water on Earth. When that water is heated, it starts to evaporate. That water, that liquid water, turns into a gas we call water vapor. That water vapor rises up into the atmosphere, troposphere, and as it goes higher and higher and higher, it starts to cool. And when it cools, we get those water droplets and ice forming, which forms our clouds. Up there, those water droplets are actually moving around and they start bumping into each other. And when they bump into each other, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually the cloud can no longer hold the water and it falls from the sky as rain or snow or precipitation. Neat, right? So the water cycle is actually very important to weather. Did you know that clouds are actually really heavy? They are. There is about 500 tons of water up in a single cloud. But if clouds weigh over 500 tons, how in the world are they staying up there? By sheer force of will. I'm kidding. Clouds stay up there because of those tiny droplets of water. Those water droplets are so small that they're able to more or less float up in the cloud. But clouds aren't actually floating. They are falling back to the ground because of gravity. We don't see these clouds falling because they're so far away and the fall is so slow that we can't see it with our eyes. Great, so let's talk about air and air pressure. We know that air has a lot to do with weather. Last video, we learned that the rapid movement of air causes winds. We have high pressure and low pressure systems. Well, now we're actually gonna check out those high and low pressure systems with my nifty cloud in a bottle. Pretty cool, right? So, we know that clouds need water to form, right? Clouds are made up of droplets of ice and water. Well, instead of using water, we are going to use alcohol. This is just regular rubbing alcohol. And alcohol has a lot of the same properties as water. See, water will take hours to days to evaporate, but alcohol evaporates a lot faster. So we can use it to form our cloud. Now on the end of my bottle, I have an air pump. This is going to add air into my bottle here and increase the air pressure. So you can see that I have some give right now with my bottle. So let's go ahead and increase the pressure. Now by increasing the pressure, I am also increasing the temperature. The air inside my bottle is getting warmer. Okay, I want to make sure I have a good amount in here. A couple more squeezes. All right, so you can imagine this sort of being like a high pressure system. You can kind of see through it, right? But now we are going to decrease the pressure. And when I decrease the pressure, we get a cloud in a bottle. Now, the reason I'm able to get a cloud in the bottle is because of that sudden decrease in pressure and temperature. By decreasing the pressure, my air is getting cooler. that cooling air cannot hold as much liquid. So we get those alcohol droplets forming, which form our cloud. And if I just add some more pressure, my cloud disappears. Pretty cool, right? So this is why we get high and low pressure systems. This is why clouds form when there is low pressure. There is a sudden change in temperature. Clouds, check. Let's talk about rain. Now, I mentioned earlier that rain happens when those droplets of water inside a cloud start bumping into each other, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually they fall. That's a pretty easy idea to think about, right? But let's talk about something that's a little weirder. Have you ever been outside on a bright sunny day and maybe out in the yard and looking at the beautiful sky above, and suddenly it starts to rain? That's what we call a sun shower. But why do sun showers occur? Well, there are two reasons. Sun showers sometimes occur on very windy days. So a cloud that is miles away might deposit its rain, and the wind could carry it miles to eventually rain on your head. That's one way. Another way is that sometimes clouds get to the end of their life, right? They get very, very, very small. And so they make one last-ditch effort to release all of their moisture. And by the time that rain hits you, the cloud has already disappeared. It's gone away, it dissipated. So you get a sun shower. We might think that there are no clouds, but in order to have rain, you have to have a cloud. Can't have it without it. So now I think it's time for us to go back to my lab and build on our weather station. You guys ready? And wow. All right, now we are going to make our rain gauge. For this experiment, you are going to need a 2-liter bottle, some tape, a Sharpie, and a ruler. I went ahead and cut my 2-liter bottle in half. Have an adult use some kitchen scissors to help you with this. This could get a little dangerous. Now, once you have your 2-liter cut in half, you're going to take the top half and flip it upside down. Then stick it into the bottom half like so. Once you have it like this, you are going to tape the two halves together. Perfect. So now it is nice and secure. If you would like, you can also tape the upper part here just to kind of keep some of those sharp edges away. Up to you, just be very careful. Now, you are going to take your ruler and a strip of tape, and we're going to make our measurements. So I'm just putting my tape actually here on my ruler by my centimeter sides. And I'm going to mark each of the centimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Once you have your markings, go ahead and just tidy them up a little bit. Beautiful. Now I'm going to number them 1 to 12, starting from the bottom. I'm also going to write at the very top cm. So I know that this is measuring centimeters. Once you have your strip of numbers done, you're going to go ahead and put it on your rain gauge. Now you want that bottom number, so that 1, as close to the bottom as possible. Like so. Beautiful. Now, as water falls into our rain gauge, the level will rise. And after a good rainstorm, your rain gauge should fill up with a couple centimeters of water. Pretty cool, right? Now use this as well as your barometer that you made in the last video and see if there is a connection or a possible connection between the amount of centimeters of rain that you get and the air pressure. Also, if you like what you see here, please feel free to drop us a donation. Every little bit helps. We can't wait to see you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weather-filled day.
MOSH Connect relies on support from our community. If you like what you just saw, please consider donating at www.themosh.org and give us a like on social media at MOSH Jacks so you can stay connected.